Hello everybody, it's an absolute pleasure to be back and see you guys all in the chat. We are here for the newest episode. Oh, this has gone so well, hasn't it already? This is why you remember to mute yourself. That's a fantastic start to the stream, but hello everybody. Hope you've all had a great off-season. I've just run home from a lecture, so if I'm a little bit out of breath for the first few minutes, do give me a bit of the benefit of the doubt there. But here we go. This is us and our new graphics for the moment at least. But we've also got a couple more bits coming as well. So I have to say, here we go. This is my cool reveal moment, guys. This is really cool. So I bet it's quite frustrating when you can't put a face to a voice. Well, I tell you, right. I've got to be really smooth with this. This is going to work really well. What I'll say. Hello everybody, I'm Bradley from RaceBeacon, and welcome to the Midweek Show. Now, come on. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yes, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to have you. So I've got... Right, there's a lot to rattle through off the start of this. Let me actually get my phone out. Like I say, apologies. I have just run back to my accommodation. So you can just... Look, we've got LEDs. We're cool. We're proper streamers and stuff. So I've got you guys on the chat there. So I can see I've got you guys on my monitor over there. So I can read. So I'm looking over there. I'm looking at that. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all enjoying it, and yeah, it's a pleasure to be back for the new season, and it's only going to be better than last. It can only be better than last. Hopefully a bit less controversial, because we've got a lot of that to talk about today, because a lot of it's still going on. So I love the teddy bear in the background. I've got the teddy bear in the background, very soft. But there we go. Hello everybody, it's a pleasure to have you all back, and I hope we'll be seeing you all for the rest of the season as well. Hello Liam, hello David. Who else have we got? We've got Linley as well. Hello. Mysterious Creature 2. Atata Kate. Yes, I may be probably to retire. Yeah, we'll get on to Hamilton stuff. That's happening. Hello, Desislava. How are you doing? It is a pleasure to be here. Right, lot to get through. So, one of the first... How's that happened? You're not... Like, the subscription box has gone funny. That's what happens when you have no time to prepare at all. Deslav saying, love the camera. I do. It was this rubbish camera, but I love me. I'm pretty cool. But yeah, there we go. So, I mean, what do you guys think of the new design? All the new layout and everything? We've got a lot to unpack here. But yeah, first of all, just hello, everyone. Hope you've all had a good start to 2022. Firstly, something from the latest video that you'll all know, I am planning on doing all live broadcast of pre-season testing, 9 hours a day from 7:30 till it would be, I think, 12. Then there's a 1 hour break, so I'll be back at 1 until 5:30. No, it's not that late, that's wrong. 8. Okay, maths is difficult. It normally ends at 4, doesn't it? 12. Does it start 7? What time does it normally start? What time does pre-season? It's normally 7 or 8 a.m. It's one of the two anyway. Hello everyone. Hello Ditch as well there. Yeah, hope you've all had a great start to the year. And this should be a pretty good one. We also have this graphic as well. So we have, so far, 2 of them announced today. But we have 6 of the car launch dates officially announced. Red Bull have done a bit of a tease with theirs, but they haven't actually announced when the date actually is yet. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer on that one. First car launch is going to be the 10th of February with Aston Martin. Then you've got the 11th with McLaren. Then recently announced today, we have AlphaTauri on the 14th. Alpine on the 21st. Both of them announcing their new dates today. Alpine, of course, still without a team principal after all of that drama and the comings and goings. Ferrari on the 17th, and then Mercedes looking to claim back the Drivers' Championship. And the reigning Constructors' Champions on the 18th of February. So, there we go. What have we got? If I head over as well, hang on, we have another screen. Here we go, look at this. Wow. I haven't set it up. Bear with me on this one sec. Twitter. That is the correct one. Look at us go. We're so good at this. So we have the full screen Twitter as well. This is all very fun. I can't wait for the preseason testing stream though. That is going to be... That's going to be looking... That's going to be a tough one. I'm not sure how easily 9 hours of streaming in a day is going to go. But, you know, we're excited for that. So we had a lot of news. Have I missed anything while I've been up and out for 2 hours? Is there anything I've missed? Some pictures of George in the Mercedes. I'd love to, but like I say, please, I do apologise. I have had to run home, quite literally, for this all today. Yeah, I don't think there's been anything too much. 90 front drivers at the US Grand Prix, Daniel Ricciardo. Yeah, that's all good. I think we're all good on the news front. I don't think we've missed anything. So all of this is what I've got. So, you gonna refresh on me? There we go. Fantastic. So, we've got full screen, and then we can go back here, and we've got that. And then we can go back, and we've got this. It's all really cool. I do love this. But there we go. So, right, we've got the FIA statement where this is obviously sort of starting all of this. So I'm just going to read it because I know most of you have probably read it, but this is just getting it all going. So, following a decision of World Motorsport Council in Paris on the 15th of December, so 3 days after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix finale, so Mohammed Ben Sulayem, the new FIA administrator, the new director of the FIA, has started detailed analysis of the events of the last Formula 1 Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi, of course. Well, guys, this is not a lie. So on January 19th, so a week ago today, so yeah, a week ago today, an item on the agenda of the Sporting Advisory Committee is dedicated to the use of the safety car. So obviously we won't hear anything from that. This is all sort of internal FIA private stuff. So it's not too important on what we're actually saying here. Then this is the most important bit. The following stage will be shared discussion with all F1 drivers. That's ongoing, I would assume, at the moment, and all F1 drivers being one of the main topics of this stream with Lewis Hamilton, a certain Lewis Hamilton. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. So just seeing everything in the chat. I think this is working really well. I'm quite surprised there's not been any technical hiccups apart from the subscribe button deciding to move itself, which I'm not entirely sure how that's happened, but we'll roll with it. And then the outcome of detailed analysis will be presented to the F1 Commission in February, and final decisions will be announced at the World Motorsport Council in Bahrain on the 18th of March. And you may be thinking, oh, that sounds like an important date. Yeah, that is potentially when qualifying is for F1, or the traditional qualifying session, because it's currently looking like Bahrain, round one of the season, will be a sprint race. So, if there wasn't a way to get a season off to a more controversial start, let's just chuck in a sprint race as well. So, that'll be interesting to hear what goes down. But some of the key rumours have got stuff like this. So, Toto Wolff on Abu Dhabi. We expect deeds and not just words. We cannot freestyle with the rules of rules in a sport that is supposed to be sport. I'm not sure how English that is, or if that's what he actually said, but that's the quote we have. And someone else had copied that quote as well. So, I think that's what he said. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Clarity must be created about the rules before the start of the new season so that every driver, team and fan knows what is allowed and what is not. In the end, we offer entertainment, but no decision should violate the rules for the sake of the show. So there you go. It does definitely feel like Toto is wanting some more serious, comprehensive action. Hello, mate. Hello, Mao. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to have you here for the new season. So, it's all. I'm so surprised that all of this is working well. What have we got? What happened from John's Stop Motion? Yeah, we're just sort of going over all of that now. So if we go back over here, I think you can read that, kind of. Everyone could sort of read that. There's still no agreement over the sprint races, right? Yes, there's been no update on that. Some of the teams were threatening boycotts and vetoes, over a increase to the budget cap. So that would be interesting because of the sprint races. So the sprint races, because they're not written into the rules, there's no rule saying that the sprint race has to be round 1 in Bahrain, round 5 in, I think, Imola or something like that. Just off the top of my head. Then Canada, Sao Paulo, Austria, Zandvoort, and there was one other. But yeah, so that's what we've got so far. So yeah, no update on that too much. Zach Brown, I don't know, he seemed to feel pretty strongly about that one, not wanting to increase the budget cap. Mostly because I think McLaren are not in the best financial situation at the moment, hence rumours about takeover bids and stuff along the lines. Is Hamilton retiring? Well, it's a little bit up in the air. I would say, personally, I don't really see it. I think he's definitely thought about it and probably still is thinking about it, but I just don't think he will. And, you know, I could be completely wrong on that one, and he could well end up retiring. But personally, I think the chances of that are fairly low. But you never know, really. You never know. So then we've also got some stuff. We have some We have some updates on the Miami track as well. So there we go. This is what's going on at the moment. I think it's near the Hard Rock Stadium, is it? I think so. That's in Miami? Yeah, probably that. And we saw Pierre Gasly doing some promotional stuff there earlier on in the week as well. So this is what we've got, bits of Miami already. Actually, I'll bring this one up on full screen so you can all see that a little bit nicer. Yeah, so if Hamilton is not coming back, what will be his replacement? We will absolutely talk about that because there's definitely quite a few thoughts. It is Hard Rock, yeah. As I say, I'm 99% certain of that. So there we go. This is some updates on the Miami circuit at the moment. And this is... What round is that in the season, actually? It's pretty early on. I'm going to have to boot up the F1 app here. Because believe it or not, I don't know the calendar off the top of my head. That is... I know it's criminal of me, but... I'll... So yeah, it's actually... Where is it? I feel it's pretty early. Yeah, it's round 5. It's round 5 of the season, so... There you go. It does look pretty narrow, but it does look pretty narrow, and there's not excessive amount of runoff at the moment. But obviously, I think they're gonna have to pave over most of this. So yeah, I don't know, actually. It feels a bit like it's pretty early stages on it, despite the fact it's not too far away. But I suppose, you know, if Monaco could be built in a couple of weeks, I think they shouldn't struggle too much with this one. It's May 6th. It's Canada narrow. Yeah, it is. It's very similar to that. So I think there's definitely... I don't know. I don't have a lot of high hopes, to be honest, for this one. Oh, wow. Eduardo Sousa, thank you so much. Keep up the work, G. Thank you so much. You know what, as well? This is fantastic, because it now means... If we head back here... It works! It works! Look at that. The new donation came in. Thank you so much, Eduardo. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And it's cool to see the donation bar actually works. Because I wasn't 100% certain that would be the case. But it does... And I couldn't be happier. But yeah, thank you so much. That's actually a good... Thank you for the money as well. That's a surprisingly high amount for a midweek stream. But thank you. It means a lot. Absolutely. Right. Okay. Back to Miami. That's the wrong one. I nearly leaked my pre-season testing stuff there. It's not a leak. It's not that bad. But yeah, there we go. So that's what we've got there on that front. Then we also had some updates from Alpine as well, where they have a big F1 testing program for Oscar Piastri, who of course very controversially has missed out on a seat, and Guan Yu Zhou will be in that second Aston Martin. Harry saying, good evening, what have I missed? Nothing too much, we've only really just got started. So I was just rattling through sort of what the plans are for pre-season testing. Conclusion, 27 hours of stream, because... Actually, I think now is a good time to have the rant. Before we move on to what the next tweet was, if I remember correctly. Good time to have the rant. So, I'm going to move that. That's better. That's a lot better. So, F1 have... Obviously, this is a video I uploaded earlier on today as well, so that's all there. Yeah, nothing new in the chat. That's good. I thought so. I just moved. But yeah, we have... I don't know, I'm pretty conflicted about it all. Just joined what's going on. Hello, Jordan, how are you doing? Nothing too new, we're sort of just going through controversial money, cough, cough. Absolutely, yes, Shrey is absolutely spot on with that. Basically, Bahrain have paid a lot of money to be the official pre-season test. Just joined what's going on. Yeah, Jordan. So basically, we haven't got too far into the actual topics yet. Just going over some of the news. So things like the FIA investigation into Abu Dhabi coming out March 18th. So that'll be an interesting one. If we find out roughly when that's meant to come out, I might go live for that. It is on the Friday of Bahrain anyway for round one of the season, so chances are I might be live when it drops anyway. Shiam saying, do you think Mercedes' 2022 engine might have been completed, maybe deliberately, as the key personnel, including Ben Hodgkins, is leaving, and what will be its effect in the future? So Mercedes, it's quite curious. They did actually do their engine launch, their fire up, and release it to the public very early on, as you can see in the engine comparison video I uploaded the other day as well. Not my proudest work, but it got some views. So yeah, obviously they're pretty happy with that and how the progress is going. Also, look, we've got the live view count as well. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, and follow me on Twitter. Don't use my other Twitter. Follow me on that Twitter because that's where anything YouTube related or important will go. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's the better one. It makes no sense to me. Why would F1 not want us to watch testing? That makes no sense. So David is thank you for bringing us back to that point that I started and never finished. The thing is, so Bahrain paid a lot of money. The Sakir Circuit paid a lot of money to ensure that they are the official. In fact, it says pre-season down there, and it's still pre-season. In fact, God, I didn't put pre-season testing because it's now pre-season session, which I refuse to call it. Because as I said in the video earlier on, if it's the same format as a test, if it's got the same people involved as a test, and if it's at a track used for testing, it's probably a test. But no, it's a shakedown apparently. A 24-hour shakedown in the same format as pre-season testing 2 weeks later in Bahrain. So I'm not quite buying it. Will Buxton was bought out much like a government minister to try and defend it. Not having it, I'm afraid. I'm pretty annoyed with it, which is why I'm going to be streaming all of it, because Autosport, motorsport.com, and I think there will be some actual F1.com updates as well throughout the day. I'm going to be live throughout all of it. And I know I've talked to a couple of people on Twitter already, and they're like, oh, wow, really? So I think that's the thing that people would like to see. I might suffer through it, but it's something that just people can hop in and out of as the day goes on. So, you're not under any pressure to watch me for 27 hours and 3 days. I just want to clarify that right now. I'm not expecting you to watch all of that. But yeah, it's just something that people can pop in and out of to see any updates in the day. We have live timing, live feeds from the journalists at the track and stuff like that. So it's all pretty cool. Right, well, F1 is getting more crap by the week, it feels like, at the moment. Well, yes, the money really is key here. But shakedowns are normally restricted, right? Yes, they are. They are. And that's another reason why it's definitely not a shakedown, because Mercedes are doing their actual shakedown at Silverstone, I think, mid-February, early mid-February. They're doing their shakedown at Silverstone. So it's a complete load of rubbish, honestly. I don't want people thinking, oh yeah, no, it is actually a shakedown. It's not a shakedown. It is the same format. They could be doing the same things. So we're just regressing a couple of years and basically going back to the stage where they're just not broadcasting it. But everything will be live in Bahrain on F1 TV, on TV itself, I assume. So that's all pretty cool. What's a shakedown? Shakedown would be just a chance to get the cars on the track and make sure everything's working. Typically also run at lower engine modes as well. So there you go. That's sort of what that is. It is literally just getting the cars out on the track, giving them a bit of a test. 100 kilometers and no competition tyres, I think. So now it's shakedowns. Will it be that? No info on it. No, so it's not. They're just saying it's a shakedown. It's not. That's the thing. They're saying it's a shakedown, but it's not in the format of a shakedown. Will Buxton just came out and said that with no justification behind it at all, and everyone was replying, going, "No, that's wrong." Having none of it, apparently he wasn't. So I don't know. It's a weird one. But that's what happens when F1 hire their own journalists. You're not going to get criticism, are you? That's natural, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's how you should probably run a business if you can. But it's not brilliant. No, Hamilton retiring. He's the GOAT. It's from David. Yeah, I don't think he will. I'd be pretty surprised if he actually does. So what's going on with FIA and Abu Dhabi exactly? Desislava says. So the situation there is that we're waiting for a report. I think the most likely outcome isn't Michael Masi being sacked, as much as I think Mercedes will be pushing for it. it's much more likely we're going to get a situation where they change the safety car rules or make them much more robust. Because as we figured out in the stream that we did and the streams and videos afterwards, they're not all that clear and a lot of the rules override each other. So it seems as though there's a bit of a get out of jail free card for Michael Masi in this case, because the regulations did technically allow him to do what he did. It's a tricky one though, and I'm not sure I agree with it, but we'll see what goes. I can only see them changing it. I think that's definitely the most likely outcome. But what have we got going on as well? But yeah, just back to the preseason test very quickly. I have seen Lolwell Buxton has finally stopped getting death threats over Abu Dhabi. I hope that he's ready for a new ton of hate coming his way. Yeah, he absolutely did. He got a lot of hate going his way after Abu Dhabi for a start, but then also now. It's a tough one because he was wrong. So, I don't know. It's a frustrating one. How does preseason work and stuff? I've never really kept up with it all. Okay, so yeah, this is a good point to start, actually. So we have 4 hours of a morning session and 4 hours of an afternoon session. So from 8 till 12, you have the morning 4-hour session. And then from 1 till 5, it is 1 till 5. It is 1 to 5. You have the afternoon session, the PM session. Do you think Hamilton will retire? If he eventually retires, who should replace him? We will discuss who would replace him a little bit later on. That's where this is all heading. Because it's quite a list. It's going to be one of the Mercedes engine drivers, you would assume, or one of the bigger drivers who they can maybe buy out. I think Australia and Canada are going to get cancelled. We'll probably get a race at Qatar. Yeah, potentially. I think the the local Australian government at least, have given their full go-ahead and saying it's happening. Not sure on Canada because they're a lot more serious in their public messaging on COVID. So if it's still an issue when we get near the Canadian Grand Prix, I think that one is probably at risk of being cancelled again. But as far as I'm aware, Australia is going ahead now, and it's got pretty concrete foundations behind it. So we'll see. So yeah, I think Australia. If you've got tickets for it, I think you should be good to go. But Canada, maybe a little less confident on that one. But there we go. So I've caught up with the chat. So as I say that, so Dave's saying last time they went to Australia, didn't it get cancelled when everyone was over there? Yes, that was right at the start of the pandemic. So a little bit of a tough one. I think it was one of the McLaren staff that caught it, and then as it turns out, it was actually a bit more widespread than people thought. Can I do Ian Sterling voiceover tonight on RaceBeacon? You can if you want to do that. Are you looking forward to seeing the car reveals? Absolutely, and for the ones that are being broadcast live on media or anything, I'll be going live for that as well. So that'd be quite fun if I'm awake for it. There's a high chance I'm not awake for it, but no, I should. If we know the date, if we know the timing in advance, that is something that we're 100% going to be getting and doing. And yeah, the pre-season testing is where the season really gets underway and all of the coverage. Also, I'm announcing an announcement. We have a very special show coming up the night before the season starts. The date could change on that slightly, but I am really excited to reveal more information about that. So keep an eye out for that, because that's going to be really good. Do you think Canada could probably have a zero attendance race? Potentially. I don't know if they'd want to do it though, because I think one of the issues for Canada was I don't think there's a lot in it for them. They don't gain anything by hosting the race without the income from the fans. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how that's going to go. I am announcing an announcement, but it's really good. I promise you, it's going to be really good. You'll want to stick around for it. I'll say that much. Right, have I missed anything in chat? Lando Merck. Yeah, well, you know what? Let's move on to what will happen if, hypothetically, Lewis Hamilton were to retire. That's a big one. And first of all, do you want to say that's probably the most controversial thing almost ever, some of the biggest things that are going to stick out in Formula One history if that were to happen. Press saying, I don't think Lewis will retire because Mercedes would have to find another driver and that would have leaked. You'd have thought, yeah. So that's why I'm leaning towards the idea it wouldn't. But like we're saying, could he actually? It's still potentially up in the air. Depends how he's feeling about all this. Spoiler. A lot of spoiler alert if it's true. Podcast. It's not a podcast. I'd like to do a podcast. If anyone watching this has a podcast, I'm happy to do your podcast. But actually, it might involve some people from a podcast, actually. So, there you go. That's probably... that. If you read into it too much, you can get an idea of what that show is going to be about. But, again, if Lewis retires, it's a lot of bad press for him. It is, because at the end of the day... you see, I wouldn't say Hamilton's bigger than the sport, but he has a lot... He's more well known as a personality than the sport is. So... to have him go, it cuts through to the public who won't ever watch F1 anyway. It cuts through to them a lot more and really does put F1 in a bad light, which potentially will. I can only see that hurting sponsorship opportunities for teams and Formula 1 and investment going forward. So, yeah, F1 and the FIA do want to avoid that. I'd be up for a podcast. Yeah, fair enough. Do you think Masi will get sacked? I'm leaning towards no, because... I think it's more likely we'll just get rule changes. So I think that's more likely at the moment. He's easily the best driver, but he must be pissed. He lost a championship after being stitched up. I won't watch F1 again. It's a fuss. I can understand why a lot of fans would feel that way. I absolutely do. Got to F1 because of Hamilton for like the first 3 months after getting to know Hamilton. He was the only person I knew in F1. A non-F1 fan will know Lewis. That's a lot to say. Yeah, exactly. It cuts through to the audience that aren't Lewis Hamilton fans a lot more, or F1 fans a lot more. So it's really, really important that the FIA, Formula 1 management, F1 can keep a hold of him. And why this report, I do think, I can only see it leading to changes in the rules. I don't think Masi will be sacked. Although I personally believe Masi should be sacked. But I do struggle to find many people who are a fit replacement as well. So, it's a tricky situation. It really is. Rule changes or clarifications. Clarifications. Changes to the rule book that stop certain rules overriding others unless it's on safety grounds. There you go. That's, I think, the best way to word it. I like seeing the car reveals, but also I'm looking forward to the drivers revealing their helmets for the year. Yeah, that's true as well. Von Red. Yep, I know what that means. Totally. But we've got... Yeah, I like seeing the car reveals. Yeah, that'll be really fun. And like I say, hopefully we'll get to go live a little bit with all of that sort of thing. So we'll... Hang on. Has the... I think my chat's ahead... How is that ahead of the actual YouTube chat? I mean, I'm not complaining, but that... Okay, that's really weird. So I just don't remember anything like this happened with Charlie. It was always done right. Yeah, Presso, absolutely spot on. And there were controversies under Charlie Whiting. You know, we've got the... Well, I've got a message for you, Charlie. F off. Honestly, F off. You know, there was controversy, but it was nothing that was avoidable danger. There was nothing like that. But I think there's been a little bit too much of that with Michael Masi. And maybe at the end of the year, if something more does go on, I might even make a video covering everything in his tenure so far that has put people at risk, because it has happened quite a few times. Marshals, drivers, it has happened. Basically, if this happens, and this is the rule, no matter if there's 1 lap left or 5. Yes. And clarification on that, yeah. Pranal saying hello, and Seb as well saying yo. Do I watch cricket? Not a lot. I'll be honest, I've watched a little bit of cricket over... I'm in uni accommodation. I haven't got a lot to do a lot of the time during the day. So I will admit, I've watched some cricket. But don't tell anyone. But yeah, there you go. Big message coverage. Back with Charlie, F1 would show bits of the driver's briefing per race. You'd think that would come back. I don't think so. No, I don't think that was something that necessarily drivers or teams really wanted too much. It was a good insight, and sometimes I do actually go back and I see it on my Twitter or see it in YouTube suggests. I do go back and watch those because they were really fun to see. Just it's a bit like Drive to Survive, the inner workings that you don't always see on camera. So it's pretty fun to see. It should come back. I like it. Yeah, it was fun. I really did. Yeah, they were really good. But also, yeah, hang on. There was one last tweet I was going to go. We may as well show you that. So this is the big bit. So this is actually probably the biggest news at the moment. So Formula 1 will not broadcast the first 3 days of pre-season testing in Barcelona. That's not how you spell Barcelona. Come on, Formula Racers. That's disgraceful. Live timings will not be provided either. And by not being provided, that is more... What we see, chat? Well, what about Ashes in Australia? We will not discuss the Ashes. We're not discussing the Ashes. If we won, we'd discuss it, but we did not win that, so it's banned. I'm afraid. I'm gonna mute the word on chat. Yeah, the inner workings and the relations between drivers. Yeah, absolutely. It was just sort of good to see, and how they addressed the race directors. Part of the sport we'd never really seen too much of before. They don't want to expose the cars exploding. Well, yeah, I mean, there's an element of that because it is new cars and drivers will make mistakes. But parts of the print media, well, and actual online media as well, are allowed to be there. So we are still expecting live updates from autosport.com, motorsport.com, places like that. Which is why, I'll say again, 27 hours of streaming in 3 days is coming your way from me when we get to the Barcelona pre-season test. Mostly because I appreciate a lot of fans are going to be really annoyed that it isn't broadcast. So I'm going to try to bring the best coverage of that as possible. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how all of that can go as well. England got bashed. Yeah. Yeah, we weren't particularly good at the cricket, I'll be brutally honest. Harry saying, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have wanted to be a steward in last race. No. Ultimately, you've got both of the team principals shouting in your ear about what they want to happen. It was a really rough situation. Like 27 hours non-stop. No, that would end me. Although this one may not be too far off. We've got 4.5 hours in the morning, so we're going to go live half an hour before, so 7:30 UK time, half an hour before pre-season testing. The first day gets underway. So half hour before that. Oh, that's weird. That time that we're counting down to down there, half an hour before that, I will be live. Then we'll be live for the next 4 hours as well, covering that session. 1 hour break at lunch because I've got to eat food, and so did the teams. So there's a break for an hour there. And then we're back for the last 4 hours, and then another half hour at the end to go over the summary of the day, and when we're likely to see some stuff actually released by F1. So we'll have live timings, we're going to have all live stuff from the journalists coming all the way down there. You'll be able to see it. We'll also have live blog updates and chat and stuff, so... You know, it'll just be really fun. It's something you can pop in and out of as the day goes on. So I think it's pretty fun. A pretty good challenge as well. And we have a good share of the audience, I'd imagine, because it's not broadcast. So a good chance to get some money because I like money. Well, we see Mercedes silver livery make a comeback. Yes, Mercedes will have their silver livery. Disease Wolf saying nice face cam. Thank you. The actual webcam itself is rubbish. I will be investing in a much better webcam and probably put it like up there somewhere. So it'll be better. But like I say, I'm back and forth at the moment with university and home, so I don't want to invest too much at the moment. Likely around halfway through the season, about 6 months' time, I'll be in a place of my own. So yeah, we'll be able to invest a bit more in all of that. I really want to get, you can get the track maps on the wall. You can get like the metal cutouts of the track. I really want one of those. They're really cool. So I might have to do that. I might have to invest in those as well. Also, India's coming for the 5th test in May. You have that chance at least. So no F1 content till practice. Till testing. Yeah. So yeah, no, these will still be happening weekly, and I'll be bringing the car launches as they happen as well. We'll be doing some live streams for that, and I'll just literally play it underneath me, and we'll have the chat. You know, it will be like it is now, and we'll just have the car launch underneath, and we can talk about it, what we expect from the team that year, and so on. It'll be pretty fun. Will Mercedes buy back Bottas? Yeah. So this is so we thought about. Actually, let's get fully into this Hamilton discussion now. We'll publish the last half hour separate after people working. Yes, I can do that. I can clip it and publish it separately. I can do that. Will Mercedes buy back Bottas? Will McLaren return to the old livery? They'll be going with what they have now. I'm pretty sure. I can't predict. I think there's going to be some black on the Ferrari though. That's quite cool. I think we've seen a little bit of that today. Whoa, facecam, sexy. Thank you, Morgan. I'm never doing that again on stream. That was horrific. Can't be here for more than 5 minutes. Sorry. Oh, Morgan. I take back the... No, I never... I regret doing this instantly. I don't get it as we won't see preseason testing. So, yeah. So, we won't... Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you meant me coverage. Sorry. So, yeah, there's no actual F1 TV live coverage until the week before the season gets underway. And that is at Bahrain for the official preseason test. But I'm going to call it the second test. I'm going to force you all to refer to it as the second test and Barcelona as the first test because that's what they are. They've just changed the name so that they have an excuse not to broadcast it, basically. I love the Golf livery from McLaren. Yeah, absolutely. I love that Golf livery. I have my Golf McLaren jacket over there. And I remember when all of that happened, someone said, "Oh, it's just an excuse for them to sell merch," and I'm like, "Yeah, and it's beautiful merch, so I'm buying it." But yeah, that was pretty fun. Would love to see those Santander concept liveries going on the internet. Yeah, some of them are really nice, but I think we're gonna have some black on it because I think it's been an addition to some of the Ferrari trucks. They now have some black on it, so. I don't know. There you go. There's something that could easily happen. Yeah, McLaren did the fire up. Yeah, they did. Actually, yeah, I haven't watched that yet because I wasn't in. You know what? Let's watch it. Let's watch the McLaren fire up because I was doing Formula student stuff at my university. So, right. Hang on. I'm running dual monitor and I'm trying to figure out how this works. Right, so let's actually watch the McLaren fire up because I assume a lot of people missed that. What day will we see the broadcast back? So Formula 1 TV broadcast will be back on... It'll be the Wednesday, so it's going to be the 16th. It will be the 16th. It will be the 16th, won't it? Or... Would it be the 16th? I'm trying to figure this out. It'll be the Wednesday, won't it? I put it in the description of this stream actually. So let me check. I'll put it as reference for me. So we've got Crown Quest 11th, just 27 days for preseason test. I did not put it in the description of March. Yes, it's March. Some point in March. Did I say May? I genuinely apologise. I meant March. So yeah, it will be when the week before the season gets underway. So I think that's I had it written down. 10th of March. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you. 10th of March. So that's on the Wednesday, I believe. What do you think? Who do you think will be fast in practice? We'll have to wait and see for that one. I cannot even begin to predict that yet. I think Haas will go for a glory run. There you go. That's my spoiler for you. I think Haas will go for a spoiler run to make it look like they're really quick, but I just don't see them being that quick this season, or as quick as some people are expecting. Right, okay, it's just going to sound like it has going to seem it. It is going to sound like an engine. Right, here we go. We have the McLaren fire up. Let me bring it here. It's going to sound like the Mercedes engine. There's a plot twist for you, a bit of a spoiler. Should I go full screen? No, I can't bother. It's just noise. Right, here you go. Zach. Ooh, this is fun. Yep, that sounds like an engine. Okay, cool. So there you go. there's your McLaren engine fire up. In my mind, for some reason, I thought that was going to be slightly more exciting. Don't ask. I bet on Ferrari. Yeah, potentially. I think Ferrari definitely could go for something like that. Kind of feel for Red Bull might drop off a bit. I think Red Bull will either end up Honestly, Red Bull could be anywhere between first and fifth. I really don't know. They could have a Ferrari 2020-esque season. It'll be interesting. Is this on Twitch? No, this stream. No, this is just on YouTube. Because I'm not paying for Pro, so I can stream on 2. I'm not paying for it. So do the Merc. Yeah, we can show the Merc one again actually. I can do the Merc one because if you go to the official, RaceBeacon YouTube channel, then you can see. Oh look, I'm live. The official. That's amazing. That is stunning. If we go to here, we can compare the engines that we've heard so far. Hi Morgan. And then Alpine. There you go. So yeah, there's all the engines that we've got going so far. What are we seeing? So Merc sounds better than Alpine. So Merc looking good. I wouldn't base the performance off of those videos. Gonna be honest. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Sounds like Merc engine will fall apart any minute. Alpine sounds like it's struggling. Yeah, the Alpine does not sound too healthy. I'll be honest. But apparently it's a much better engine for next year, and they've covered a lot of the gap. I think it was a 35 horsepower gap that they had to Mercedes last year, and apparently they think they've covered it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see because definitely Alpine's downside last year was the engine. They were running massive intakes. Because it was just an older spec engine. It was not good. Because they're focusing on this year more. On that front, does Alpine use Renault engine? Yes, as it is it's the development of the Renault F1 team. It's just racing under the Renault Sport brand of Alpine. So it is still Renault. Like it's their little sports car brand. Mercedes have increased by 35 horsepower. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that as well. That Ferrari have improved a lot. Mercedes have improved a lot. Renault have improved a lot. Believe it or not, teams improve. And I mean, these rumours are great, but it's pretty hard to actually use that knowledge that they've improved in any way or by how much they've improved because, first of all, could be completely made up on Twitter, and the ones that are right, we don't know about the other teams, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. We won't find out till qualifying in Bahrain. We can get a hint of it in testing and who may be struggling, but we won't find out for sure until Bahrain. What we've got is the turbo exhaust mic in the McLaren and Merc, which makes it sound so loud. Yeah, they put a bit more protection value into it. I'm pretty sure the Alpine one was just, hey, let's just stick a microphone. Ferrari's coming out with some bold claims. Yeah, they absolutely are. I'm pretty confident for Ferrari this year. I did my 2022 predictions back in 2021, December. It was the last stream that we did before this, actually. So, God, we have not streamed for a while, have we? I've missed this. Yeah, we did that. And I put Ferrari first. I don't know if I still stand by that because Mercedes are sounding really confident as well. There was some interviews with, I think, James Allison it was. And he sounds really confident. So I think from what I'm hearing, I might just bump Mercedes back above Ferrari. But Ferrari are going to be up there. I absolutely think they are. What we see in chat, I think it would suck if Merc isn't fast because then we wouldn't get to see the pace of George. Yeah, that'd be quite funny as if he ends up back in a Williams strength car at Mercedes. We're seeing it'd be the most George thing to happen. Yeah, there we go. Straight putting that right. I think top three will be first Merc, Ferrari, second McLaren. Okay, so first Mercedes, Ferrari second, McLaren third. I can see that. I can see it. I'm a McLaren fan, and I don't have high hopes for them because I naturally don't. Because for the last 10 years, I've had high hopes for them, and every year it's crashed down quite badly. So. Not sure how confident I am about this year, but look, they've had the time to develop the car. Ferrari, their engine at the end of the year was so good. If they can make a good car next year, they should be absolutely up there with it. I think we might get Merc versus Ferrari and Red Bull versus McLaren. Yeah, Yeah, that's pretty likely as well. I think I can see all of these scenarios happening. That's the issue. I think Red Bull is going to drop off massively. I mean, there's a chance, isn't there? And they did. They said, they're happy to sort of sacrifice bits of next year if it means they can win the Drivers' Championship this year, or last year now, 2022. So, yeah, I don't know, like, all of these things could happen. And that's the fun bit. We get to speculate on all of it. And then we find out a little bit if we're right with pre-season testing. And then we find out for sure in the first race. And that's the fun build-up to pre-season. That's what makes it so special. Thoughts on Aston Martin? Stroll's dad buying him a Merc again. I can't see something like that happening. I do think, though, Aston Martin are probably going to struggle because they're not going to benefit too much from the new investment until things like the new wind tunnel, which is done halfway through the year, until all of that's complete and all of the funding can properly flow through the system, and you this is the first year where that new funding has any impact on a car, but it won't have a full impact. You're not getting what that team could do with that money yet. Next year, 2-3 years time, they're hiring a lot of great people that are going to be able to join the team halfway through next year, some points during this year, starting this year. They've nabbed, head aerodynamicists from Mercedes and Red Bull. Red Bull actually taking theirs to court over it, which was a bit of a drama. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get the real benefits from Aston Martin until 2023-24. I don't think that's... we're going to have to wait a while on that one, I do think. Drivers will be Hamilton first, Charles second, George third. I say, if you get that right, I'll put a 5 on it. Can't be more hyped than a duo like Lewis and George. Yeah, I think a lot of people are forgetting as well already that George Russell could very easily be world champion at the end of this year. He is in with the running. Absolutely. And that's weird, isn't it? It's really weird. Well, it's because budget cap. If that wasn't there, it probably would have been the same. Yeah, to an extent, yeah. But even disregarding the budget cap anyway, you'd have had to have waited a couple of years for all of that funding to properly flow through the system. And you get a new car that has been solely designed with all of those new employees and all the new funding. So teams were asking for a budget increase because of sprint races. Do you see the budget increasing? Yes. So Maverick, we did a video on that a bit earlier on in the month. And Zach Brown and McLaren very opposed to it because that's how we found out, because Zach was talking about it. I can't see it happening, but I think a couple of teams are really set in their ways about wanting it. And of course you would. If you've got more money, why wouldn't you want a way to spend it if you can? All right, I'm going to head out. All right, I'm going to be right. You wait and see. Go for it. I was going to say, if you put £1 on that, you're going to get a lot of money back, aren't you? Teams are asking for budget. Yeah, I read that. Do you think the Mercedes situation will be like Rosberg and Hamilton with Russell and Hamilton? Because Russell can easily beat Lewis. Potentially. It's risky. You're putting a young and hungry driver who will do absolutely all he can to... Well, it's his career, isn't it? And Lewis isn't going to be there much longer, so... Yeah, very easily we could see a pretty intense championship fight between the two if that car's up there, which it should be. It absolutely should be. Russell was smoking through the pack in Sakir 2020. Yeah, he did a great job. They're very unlucky to not get the win. He's definitely a step up on Bottas, so Lewis is going to have to up his game as well and not make some of the mistakes that he made this year, especially earlier on in the season. He did make some mistakes. It wasn't his best year. He fought back brilliantly, but, like I say, a couple of mistakes earlier on in the year. But if he can carry the momentum he had at the end of the year into the new season, he should do great. So, there you go. Maybe we'll see another Schumacher champion. I cannot see it. I really cannot see it. I mean, it'd be fun, wouldn't it? It would be a bit of fun, but I just don't see it happening. With the pressure, easily. Many people don't frame Lewis as GOAT, but people will realise it in 5 to 6 years' time after he retires. Yeah, and that's what I mean. If he were to walk away from the sport, that's potentially some of the biggest news ever in Formula 1. That's one of the biggest things to ever happen. Your 7-time world champion, joint most champion, leaving the sport because of something the referee, race director, did. That is massive. That really would be something. Really would be. What have we got? I have high hopes for Williams this year. I'll probably be disappointed. They can improve. They can improve, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect from them, really. Many people don't frame Lewis. Oh, yeah, I read that one. I just want to see Lewis and some absolute Max Verstappen overtakes. Send some Max overtakes. I mean, that'd be quite fun, wouldn't it? I do want to see them battling again because it really was, even if it's not for a championship, it was really exciting this year just to see them battling on track all the time. So yeah, hopefully that is something that we do get to see, definitely. But for drivers who can replace Lewis, that was what the main part of the show was going to be at the start. So Mick can kind of come close to Max, George, or Charles. I don't know. I don't think he's on that level for me. Not quite. I think he's the step down on your Max, George, Lando, Charles, Carlos sort of level. I think he's more around like the Albon level, just a step below. But he can prove me wrong. But yes, people who would end up replacing Hamilton this season, if he were to announce a shock retirement right at the end. It's going to be a Mercedes engine driver or a Mercedes Formula E driver. So you'll look at Nick de Vries, Stoffel Van Dorn potentially as two options. But past that point, you're much more likely to have... It won't be Lando Norris. Potentially Daniel Ricciardo if he's got a massive price tag on him. But Lando, I'm pretty sure, is set with McLaren for a very long time to come. Potentially a Sebastian Vettel. Mercedes engine car. Aston Martin, good ties with Mercedes. I do think Vettel's probably the most likely option to take the Mercedes. But that's a real hard one. But I don't think he's anywhere near strong enough to mount a championship fight against George, to be honest. He is past a point in his career where I don't think he'll be champion anymore. Unfortunately. I mean, it'd be quite fun to see. I definitely want to see him competitive again. No doubt. I think Bottas would really think about coming back. I don't think he would. I think Bottas, at a point now, he talked a lot about liking having just some assurance that he knows where he's going to be and he can really build a team around him. And he may know he won't have a chance for a championship, but he knows if he goes back to Mercedes, he's not going to beat Lewis. So, I don't know. I think we've seen the end of Bottas at Mercedes, in my opinion. Could be completely wrong, but yeah, that's... what I think, at least. FIA would be begging if Lewis retires. It would look really bad. It would look really bad for them. It would be bad publicity, and it wouldn't be a great day for the sport at all. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't want to race, he doesn't want to race. Lando has been adopted by Zach. Yeah, that's the thing. I can't see Lando leaving McLaren in the next 10 years. So, yeah. Albon is deep shit. I mean, like, even the slowest in yeah, he was not great in DTM at all. There's definitely stronger options. I don't think Williams have a great lineup. I don't think Alfa Romeo have a great lineup. I don't think Aston Martin have a great lineup. It's hard. I think all those teams might be pretty stagnant. You put Hulkenberg in the film, though, would it be a possible option? Well, the way when I was editing it, I was like, Hulkenberg, he could come back. I think he would be more likely to go to Aston Martin, though. But I was like, oh, that's fun. I want to make a Hulkenberg edit. So I did. Lance Stroll, champion if Hamilton leaves. Actually, that's not a bad point. If that seat opens up at Mercedes, does Lawrence Stroll go, hey, Toto... Here's 50 million. I've got a son. He's got a super license. He can drive a car. I'm going to leave this on the table. I'm going to turn around. And when I look back, this 50 million better be gone and there better be a contract. Something along those lines. But I don't know. That's an option. I love Nico, so I'm all for it, even if he comes to drive the medical car. I want to see Hulkenberg back in the spot. I did enjoy him being there. Ocon will most likely be the one and will be the wingman of George for the years to come. Yeah, Ocon as well, but he hasn't got great ties in the Mercedes team anymore because they didn't treat him fantastically well in his time. How about this? Merc signs Mazepin and use him as bowling ball against Verstappen or whoever is the rival. It's not expensive either. Just slap a flat plank of carbon fibre and he'll do it. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I could totally see that happening. I saw that Ocon could replace Hamilton if he retires because Wolff is Ocon's manager or something. They do have ties, yeah, and they have had links in the past, but I don't know if that's something he'd want to do particularly either. Because he knows that when Alonso goes in a year or two, he's the natural successor to the throne at Alpine. So, I don't know, it's a tricky one. Any other news on Twitter? I don't think so at the moment. I don't think we've got any more news going. Well, he hasn't treated well at the not fantastically. There was things like, we promise we'll get you a seat, and just stuff like that never happened. So, I think he was definitely a little bit frustrated by it all. Don't say it. You're doing amazing speed. Challenges. Is this... They've announced their date already, haven't they? Let me check. Yeah, they have, yeah. 10th of February. So actually... Oh my god, that's crazy. So we're 15 days off of the Aston Martin being released. That's crazy. For enough money, I could see Alpine giving up Ocon. Yeah, I think for enough money, they would. I can't see Hamilton retire. He loves the fights on track. Yeah, I would be so surprised if Lewis were to retire. I really would. Oh, Kimi Räikkönen's 5 season F1 not to develop an Alfa Romeo car. Fred Vasseur admits that was not what Kimi would have chosen to do. So deciding in what would ultimately be Kimi Räikkönen's final season F1 not to develop the Alfa Romeo car. Fred Vasseur admits that was not what Kimi would have chosen to do. Deciding... Sorry. I don't know if I'm just being really... Deciding in what would ultimately be Kimi Räikkönen's final season not to develop the car. Oh, so he's saying that Kimi would have liked to have developed the car. Well, yeah, I mean, every driver would have liked that, wouldn't they? That's not groundbreaking. Motorsport Broadcasting are a brilliant site as well for all of your Twitter news or broadcasting side of things. Also, what do you guys think of some Formula E coverage of some sort? It probably wouldn't be live, but what I'm thinking of doing is, especially for people who don't watch Formula E, is because the first races are this weekend, is doing after each weekend a sort of short summary on what happened over the weekend, so you sort of get an idea for what happened in the race without actually having to watch it. And I think that would be good because I'm not following Formula 1. I think that would be good because a lot of crazy stuff happens in Formula E and a lot of controversy as well that I think a lot of people are interested in, but not interested in enough to actually watch the sport. So I think that'd be something that's quite fun, maybe. All Kimi wants is a good drink system. Look, he's retired. He can have all the drink. Imagine Kimi in a Merc if Lewis retires. Interesting. Romain Grosjean in a Mercedes. They look, Disease Wolf, they couldn't even get him in the test yet. They're still struggling with that. Extreme also, I do watch Extreme, but I don't know, that's something I could do. Because they are starting that new season in a few months' time, so that's something I could do. He's apparently getting a test drive. Yeah, I mean, they're struggling to get him that test drive, so I think getting him for a whole season in the car, I don't know if I trust them on that one too much, but yeah, I don't think he'd be the best fit anyway. Out of all of the other drivers you have on the grid, and he's dedicating himself to IndyCar a bit more as well now. So Latifi in a Merc, that would be funny. that would be funny. I would enjoy that. What are we seeing as well? Why are they struggling? I can't remember what I said. Who's struggling? See, that's so you'll realise these streams. My memory is so good that it's not. Let's be honest, Vettel is the best choice. Probably. He's the best, I think, realistic choice for the seat. I'm getting lost in my tabs again. There we go. So you know what? I'm not currently fussed that the first test is not airing live. However, badging a 3-day test as a shakedown is farcical, and doing fans who regularly attend the Barcelona test a disservice. Feels like the change is to prevent fans from attending. Yeah. I saw some good jokes as well from people saying that they're rehearsing the 2022 season and rehearsing the crashes that are going to happen, which I did laugh at, I'll be honest. I'm getting for FE content. I'm not watching it, be curious, but not curious enough to actually start watching whole races. So summaries might be great. Yeah, that's sort of that's basically the exact audience I'm thinking sort of tailor it towards. Is just do like a what the hell happened in Abu Dhabi Formula E or whatever, just something like that. What's my opinion on Masi? Will he stay for the year? I think he will stay for the year. Oh, Jenson Button! Yeah, let's have him in. I'm all for Jenson Button in Mercedes. Let's do that. I'll pay for it myself. But yeah, I think Michael Masi... I don't think he'll be sacked. I think they're going to clarify rules and change them slightly just so that there's complete clarification. I think that's the most likely outcome of the report. Toto and Lewis will sort of have to slightly go, okay, fair enough, and just sort of accept it. I think that's the most likely thing to happen. Now, last thing Merc will do is hire a Ferrari driver. But he's not anymore, though. He doesn't have links there anymore. Codemasters should make a Formula E game. Yeah, that'd be fun. I still can't go with Jenson Button in Mercedes. I'm gonna need a minute to compose myself here. But no, that'd be really cool. I'd love that. For full context, that will not happen, but I'd love it if it did. Right. I'm trying to look at so many different things at once here, but like I say, for those of you who are just joined who maybe weren't here a little bit earlier, I do want to just quickly rattle through again what my plans are for pre-season testing this year. We are going to have live coverage of all of it because it's not being televised. A lot of fans are really angry about that, so I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to step up to the plate. Okay, I'm going to sit in my chair and I'm going to stream. So we're going to have all live coverage of that. We're going to have the journalists, Twitter pages, live updating at the bottom, so you'll see everything as it happens. Live blogs with Autosport, motorsport.com sort of thing, live blogs going, chat, so we can just have general chats throughout the course of the day. It's something that you can hop in and out of as the day goes on. It will also have live timing on the left-hand side, just to the left of the donations. That little bar there will have the live standings as they go. So I'm really excited for that, and that's my main selling point of the channel at the moment. That's going to be really fun. Yeah, so I hope to see as many of you guys there as possible, but I do appreciate people have jobs, so maybe on your lunch break you can check in or something. But yeah, I'll definitely also do some summaries at the end of the day as well, like was mentioned in the chat earlier. So what are we seeing? Jenson Button as race director. I just want Jenson Button content. I'm happy if that comes in any form. As long as Jenson's on my TV screen, I'm happy. I'm a simple guy. What we got? Imagine attending every Grand Prix at home through the metaverse. Oh, that's a weird thought, isn't it? That's a really weird thought. Oh, that's something that things like the metaverse and all of that sort of does open up, though. It's yeah, it's definitely interesting. Yeah, that'd be quite fun. But how do you know Mercedes really had a problem with Masi staying? Yeah, well, that's a big thing. We don't, for an absolute fact. Like, statements have come out from Mercedes saying, "Oh, we're not happy. We think this should happen. This should happen. You know, X and X should happen." But yeah, there's not been a concrete, we want him gone, we want his head to roll sort of thing. Apparently there's F1 Manager game in the works. There is an F1 Manager game in the works, and once more news starts coming on about that, much like I did with Jurassic World Evolution on an old channel, which is a Frontier development game, much like the F1 management game coming out is. I'll explain it because a lot of people won't know this. So Frontier Developments, they're going to be making a F1 game. They've recently they made games like Planet Zoo and things like that, but they've also done Jurassic World Evolution more recently, which is a brilliant game. Jurassic World Evolution 2 is out, and I've been playing that a lot recently. That's a really good game. So that'd be quite Jenson Simpler. Yeah. Unapologetic Jenson Simp. What a guy. Whew, goat. That's good. People aren't going to agree with that, are they? But yeah, Jenson medical car with Nico. There we go. We're both happy there. Let's have someone jump over the gates in Barcelona and live stream the whole thing. Well, yeah, the thing is there will be some videos coming out, and that's the whole idea of having the tweet deck updating all down here. We'll be able to see everything coming out of Barcelona. So we won't have official coverage, but in the stream we are going to see everything that's coming out. So it's as close to the action that we should be able to physically get, and as far as I'm aware, no other streamers are doing this. So I like to think of it as a unique selling point at the moment, but we'll have to see how that all goes. And I'll probably try to have some people on as well. You know, some people through the day to have a bit of a talk. Some other content creators, something like that. Could I show the dates? Yes, I can. I can show the dates of the new cars being revealed. I'll quickly head over back to that. Well, you don't want to look at my face that much. That is a joke. Yeah, there you go. There's the new day. So first one is going to be Aston Martin on the 10th of February, which that's a Thursday. I might move the midweek show to a Thursday that week so that we can so that we actually have a car to talk about and we can sort of take a look at it and yeah, all of that stuff. So I might move that show to a Thursday. And then I'll probably live stream the McLaren car launch on the 11th because they normally do broadcast theirs. AlphaTauri, I don't think typically broadcast theirs, so probably no content around that. I might do a short sort of summary of like the car and taking a look at it, but that will be at most minutes long. Ferrari do a big launch, Mercedes do a launch, so we'll watch all of those live and we can have a chat about it. Should be pretty fun. You don't need metaverse, that's basically what a TV broadcast is. Well, yes it is, yeah. And like maybe some form of like VR interaction and stuff like technology does open up these opportunities. There's some fun things you can do with it. Formula E campaign would go with Formula 2 Championship, but you're Oscar Piastri, so you don't get a seat and just race for a Formula E team. Yeah, well, Oscar doesn't even get that opportunity. He doesn't even get the Formula E opportunity, so yeah, it's a tough one for Oscar. I'm going to head back to me. There we go. But yeah, he's got some... I do feel bad for Oscar, I really do, because he absolutely deserves a Formula 1 drive. He's a great driver and he would do great in Formula 1, so... It's just a big shame that he won't be there. I actually am really sad about that because he's a great talent and he will do well when he does eventually get to F1. But with Fernando Alonso saying he's open to stick around for another year or two, it might be a while before we see Oscar in Formula 1, or he's going to cut ties with Alpine and go somewhere else. So that'll be interesting. What team do you think will get on top of the new... what team do you think will get on top of the new tyres quickest? Who knows? Absolutely who knows? It could be so many different teams. And even then, it might not end up being the fastest team, so... Yeah, it'll be interesting. Because we've got the new tyres as well, so that's going to be a massive factor. And apparently Pirelli said as well that we're pretty likely going to shift to most races being one stop. They already sort of were anyway, but I think saying that we're shifting more towards one stop means, unless it's a rain affected race, two stops are pretty much dead. I don't, from what I've heard, that's the situation. What they're doing is they're making the tyre temperatures a lot better when the car's sliding, so it doesn't get too hot and overheat in that sense. Which should go side and side with the ground effect of the floors, which is basically using the floor of the car rather than the wings to generate the most downforce acting down on the car, which then leaves less wake behind, which means it should be easier to follow. So there you go. We're not doing an aerodynamic stream. We could go on about that for hours. What was it? Bring Jensen Button. Yes, absolutely. Nando shouldn't stick around. I love the guy, but now it's time for the new kids. Yeah, and I think it is a bit of a shame because I love Alonso to bits. I have to say, I really do like. I would be happy if he was world champion this year. I would not be in any way like, oh no, but I think this year should be his last. I don't think it will. I think he will put one more year into 2023. But he is holding up the likes of Oscar Piastri coming through. But equally, you could argue, well, so's Mazepin, so's Latifi, drivers like that or Guan Yu Zhou. I don't want to judge Guan Yu too early. But he got beat by Mazepin in F2, so I don't have high hopes for him. But apparently apparently Chinese investors are almost guaranteeing that he's going to stay involved in the sport in some way, which, if true, is a real shame. Not because I don't want him in the sport, just because you shouldn't have, high-ranking Chinese benefactors paying it. That just seems a bit off. But that's the market F1 wants to expand into. The US and China, massive populations. If they can get, if they can make inroads in either of them, that's a lot more income. They have many more sensors in the tyres now also. Yeah, absolutely. So everyone should be able to get to it quite quickly. They also have a lot of access to data from tyre tests that other teams have done, even if they haven't done one themselves. All the data is publicly released, because I think it was Alfa Romeo. They did a test and they had to release all of the tyre data at the end of it. So, anyway, Santander logo would look lit on that new Ferrari. I think it will. I can't wait to see a return of a bit of white to the Ferrari livery, because I think that always looks pretty good when they do go down that route. Oh yeah, 100 degree Mazepin should go for guys like Piastri. Joe gets a chance, but as Mazepin shows, money talks in F1 and not talent, so I'm worried for Piastri. Yeah. The cars with the bigger tyres are going to look sick. Hopefully they will. Placement of it looks so small on the Ferrari. Yeah, it's not huge. It might not play a massive factor, because they did do Ferrari did do a reveal showing where the sponsors are going to be, but on last year's car. So yeah, that's quite fun. But what have we got as well? I think we'll take it up to the hour and a half like normal, so we've still got another 15 minutes to just chat about whatever you want to talk about. But we've got through all of the main stuff we're covering today. So yeah, basically, open the floor. Whatever anyone wants to talk about, will absolutely go on. Any questions about what we're doing in the next month or whatever, any suggestions you may have, do just send it my way, and I will have a read on the chat over there. So we've got, it's sad that Oscar Piastri lost his seat to someone he beat, but his competitors just have more money. Yeah. It's a shame in sports like this when money does talk, because in sports like football, you know, you have working class kids who are able to come in and do massive things. So it just seems a bit of a shame that we don't have access to that in Formula 1, because at the end of the day, the lower end teams, they just need money. It's an expensive sport. They need money. What was I thinking? How's the weather? Let me check for you. It's not raining, and we're in Britain, so it's lovely. It's quite warm. It's actually, that's a lie. It's freezing today. I was running back to my accommodation to just make it in time for this stream. I was a couple of minutes late anyway, but I was jogging back here. And the amount of stairs I have to climb, it was not a fun experience. Wait, why is Albon returning? He is way too overrated. He's... I don't know. I really don't know with Albon. I think for me, this is... If he can't beat Latifi, we know he should not be an F1. Or by right, he should not be an F1. Like, if he's better than Latifi, you can say, well, yeah, he's better, isn't he? But, you know, he has no... Yeah. Yeah. Football has hundreds of spots available. F1 has 20. Yes, absolutely, and that's the issue. And that's why I want to see. We need 24 cars back on the grid, which is why I'm pretty annoyed that the Audi and Porsche. I think it was Audi and Porsche, wasn't it? News of them getting back involved with Formula 1. They're not launching new teams. They're doing it by coming in with other teams and taking over and things like that. And it really annoys me. I just don't care for it. What we absolutely need is more cars on the grid. But they have stupidly high down payments you have to pay to be able to enter a team of Formula 1. Ridiculous. It's a high amount. It is in the 10/hundreds of million. It is very high. I think it's like 20 million or 200 million. I think it's one of those two. Either way, both are a bit extortionate. I think it's 200 million actually. Yeah, it is. It's 200. I'm pretty sure. That you just have to pay to get your car onto the grid, to get entry into the sport. Before you even pay for the car, you have to pay that as proof of funds, which is just... Who's going to pay that? Who's going to pay that? There's a lot of contracts ending at the end of this year. You want to look ahead at that before the end of the season, or you want to leave that to silly season starts. Yeah, I think we'll be... Definitely take a look at that around round 7 onwards, I'd say. Especially as we get closer to the summer break. Oh, big news. So I'm going Silverstone. So something to look forward to this year. We'll be bringing live Silverstone coverage. Not of what's happening at track, just the normal shows like this, but at Silverstone. That's fun. I don't know what the recording rights are like at Silverstone, but I think what'll be really fun is to go around and just interview fans at the track. Because every time I've ever gone before, you walk past tens of thousands of people. But I think it'd be quite fun to just do just talk to them. I think it'd be a pretty fun pretty fun thing to do. But yeah, we'll have to see. Worst case scenario, it'll be me on my campsite. Is that the big announcement? That's not the big announcement. No, that's not the big announcement. The big announcement is lip sealed. That'll be the big announcement is for the night before the season starts. Special show, big special show. It's good. It's really good. I'm really excited to announce all of that. But yeah, like I said, I've announced the announcement. There will be an announcement at some point about this massive special mega show. So look forward to it. Be that guy with the laptop strapped to his chest and the green screen behind. Yes. Paid drivers are a necessary evil. They help keep small teams going. Yeah, absolutely. I know where you were going with that, Callum. Yeah, they do. They keep small teams afloat, and it's a shame. Yeah, and it will never change. I don't see a world in which that changes, unfortunately. So probably just something we have to put up for now. But I do want to say as well, because we are getting a bit closer to the end. We've got about 10 minutes left. I just want to say thank you guys, everyone here. It is genuinely brilliant to do this again. And it's nice to have a smaller amount of people watching, because it means we can just have a chat about all of this sort of stuff, which is really good. Because in the last couple of races this season, we did sort of miss the chance to do that. Because obviously you had all of the championship controversy stuff we had. I've got stats. I'm going to share stats with you. Here we go. This is exciting. We've got numbers and everything. So the stream that we did for... so if you have anything you want to say, put it in a chat and I'll read it when I'm done with this. And then it keeps the flow going quite well. It's just typing out. Okay, so we've got the peak viewers from the Abu Dhabi stream right after. So on the 12th of December, 4.5 hour stream, we got a peak viewers of 10,062. And if I saw that little counter in the bottom left there go up, the little view counter to 10,000, I would have been... That would have finished me. We got 236,000 playbacks, so nearly 250,000. Average view duration 6 minutes 36. Over 50,000 chat messages. That's an achievement by you guys. Well done. You talked a lot, and I did not read anywhere near 1% of them because it was just flying. There was not I could only read the donations out. It was genuinely at that stage. It was. I don't think I liked it. It was great having so many people watching, but I don't think I enjoyed that too much. It was pretty stressful. We tripled the subscriber count at the time, and this is my favourite stat that I have on this whole YouTube channel. In that 4.5 hour stream, there was 15,724 hours watch time, which is like, okay, that's a big number. That is the equivalent of 43 years. Listening to me, I have robbed someone of half of their life. That's all. That half a life was lost listening to me talk about F1, which is interesting. Right, so what have we got? So we've got it's supposed to be a way to protect other teams and their financial losses of another team, and it's 20 mil a team, so 200 mil overall. Hamilton is the GOAT. I was just typing that off. It's nice showing our F1 despair. It absolutely is, isn't it? I will never forget your reaction about Abu Dhabi and the stewards. Lol, as mad as I was, your reaction was hilarious. I've got to say, watching it back, I really wish I did it differently. Like, there's so many parts of that stream where I'm like, why did I say that? There's so many bits I was like, why did I say that? Who will dominate 2022? I think if we have to pick a team to dominate, it's most likely to be Mercedes, but fingers crossed we won't have any teams dominate, and it could be a free four-way scrap for some races. I want to go back to 2012, really, when, what was it, the first 6-7 races were won by different drivers. That is unthinkable now. Yeah. And he does not mean all is just burned into my brain forever. I know. I know. That's what I mean. It's so things about afterwards. I'm like, why did I say that? Well, I did my part. Thank you, Captain Bastain. My phone's going off. Why is my phone going off? Oh, that's exciting. There's no reason for my phone to be going off. I'm not going to put it there because it's going to vibrate. Never mind. Yeah, I might get a tattoo. Any does not mean all. But yeah, we've got a couple minutes left now. So anything you want to add at all? What I don't like about F1 right now is the blind Max fans who just defy physics to support him. Yeah, but equally there are people in the you know, in the Hamilton fan base the exact same and doing some pretty wild mental gymnastics at times. They're both as bad as each other, honestly. The real fanatical sides are painful. They're painful. Like, don't be acting as if you would be calm if Max was robbed of the championship. Am I taking donations for that tattoo? No, because I don't actually want it. But if I open that up, I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Actually, if we get $5,000 in the next 5 minutes, I'll have a tattoo. No, we're not. No, I'm not even doing it then. All fans, it's just either camps. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, like the issue that F1 has with fan bases at the moment is bad. Hey bro, what is your predictions for 2022 Driver Championship? That's from Parvez. If I had to predict right now, I'd say Hamilton champion, Ferrari's... Oh, this is tough, isn't it? This is tough. Yeah, all fans, yeah. There are diehard fans on all sides that are really bad. I'm leaning towards Hamilton Championship because he has something to really fight for this year. And I don't know what George is going to be able to do. I'm going to say the 2 Ferraris, George, Max, Lando. That's my top 6. Watch me get all of those 6 wrong. I can guarantee one of those 6 will be in the real top 6. So therefore, it's correct. I'm a Ham fan, but not crazy. And reading what people were saying on Twitter and Insta was just... Some people just say the weirdest... Like, some people go way too far with it. And I read it and I'm like... Get a life. Like, that... To an extent it's like, what are you talking about? It's like people claiming that what happened in Abu Dhabi was like, racism. No. That is just some of the... And the issue is it then devalues the actual arguments that we have in society when you say stuff like that. So that sort of thing really does annoy me. I've done my prediction. I've done it. I feel like so many people are counting Carlos out for 2022. I'm not. He's in my top 3. I'm not. Counting Carlos out for 2022, but everyone is on about Max, Lewis, George, Charles. But no, you know, that's the thing. I think Charles still makes too many mistakes. He needs to stamp that out. Carlos needs to get his qualifying better. And if they can both do that, they are... I mean, they're already pretty much the strongest lineup on the grid for me, Carlos and Charles. I mean, Hamilton and George is fantastic, but I think for me, George is still a little bit unproven. And we, you know, after the first race of the season, I might completely U-turn on this. If George can prove straight away he can compete with Hamilton, I'm flipping there. But for me, at the moment, on what we know, I would lean with strongest lineup being Ferrari. It's like F1 Karens. Yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of things that have really annoyed me about what we're seeing online and the state that the F1 community. It's almost like F1 Twitter's turned into politics Twitter. You've got people who are radicalized on either side and they just hate the other for no reason. And I don't know, it's weird. Charles and Carlos are going to be lit next year if Ferrari can get that damn car working. Yeah, and I think they will. A Ferrari fan will hate me for saying this, and because they've been saying it for years, but I have faith in Ferrari. That might backfire, but obviously George is no doubt a master qualifier, but we don't know his race pace. That's my thing with him. He's definitely doing well. I've done the 2022 Driver Championship. We're going with Hamilton, Charles, Carlos, George, Max, and Lando. None of those will be right, but that's my predictions. I don't expect any of those to be right, at least. If I get... Right, hang on, I'm going to clip this. If I get this right, I'll get... if I get the top 6 right, I'll do the tattoo. There we go. Why did I say that as well? What's my... I've done that one. Only thing I want to see is drivers being more aggressive with Max and not give way to him. Yeah, but I think we're going to see a lot more crashes if that happens. And I think the drivers know if they don't yield, they will crash. But I think what it's going to take is a crash for Max to stop doing it. Because at the end of the day, you know, as I said at the end of the season, if it works, why would Max stop doing it? If he knows if he just doesn't brake for the corner and runs them wide and he gets away with it, why would he not do it? Any driver on the grid would carry on doing it. Yeah. Don't count Gasly out. He's in an AlphaTauri. I have to count him out. Also, well, I don't know, actually. I was going to say the AlphaTauri race pace isn't great, but we're literally going to a new era of car that's completely different, so can't really carry that one forward anymore. Oh, no, I've said it now. I won't get... The odds of me getting the top 6 spot on are so astronomically low. We're going to forget about it, so no tactic. There we go. But yeah, I think that about does it for today, unless anyone does have any like last things they want to say. I like to keep these to about an hour and a half long, so it's a bit more structure to it, because I can't be doing a 4-hour stream. I was so close then to saying I can't do another 4-hour stream ever again. Like, I'm not going to be doing 2 4.5-hour streams a day for 3 days in a row for pre-season testing. So guys, if you've just joined, I think you should subscribe, because we're going to be bringing live coverage of pre-season testing. We're going to have all of the latest tweets from all of the journalists at the track and everything coming out, the circuit to Barcelona, Catalonia. We're also going to have the live F1 blog going right here, where we're going to get updates on the fast lap times and so on, and all the events going on at the circuit. Then on the left-hand side, we're also going to have live timing coming with you, with a team working behind the scenes, updating that for everyone to enjoy, so you can pop in and out as the day goes on. I think that covered it. Plug Discord. Yes, if you are new here, absolutely go join the Discord server. It is the link in the description. It says Discord and it's got the link. So if you go press that link, you'll join the Discord. We've got a great community of about 400 people on there at the moment, and I'm sure that'll only grow as the season goes on. I'm really excited for what the season is going to bring. Should we do a fun goal? I'm going to aim for 10k subs this season. That's my goal, because I can't comprehend any more than that. Like, I think... Yeah, I don't have high aspirations. I'm like 10k, wow. So I'm happy with that, to be honest. Didn't get a word, lol. No, I don't think anyone did. Hey mate, how are you? Oh, is that in response to me just saying that incredibly quickly? Not great. But yes, for anyone who wants it, live updates from the track here, live blog there, live timings there for pre-season testing, because they're not... Hang on, I've just realised some people might have missed this news. I'm just going to bring it up again. So we have... Where was it? There we go. So Formula 1 will not broadcast the first 3 days of pre-season testing in Barcelona, with no live timings either, but there will be like Autosport and Motorsport.com who will have access, because the teams have access to it, so therefore the media will as well. What that means is there'll be no live output coming directly from the FIA to the fans. Which I just find stupid, because that doesn't even cost a ridiculous amount. Like, they're gonna have the data anyway. Why not use it? It's weird. You'll get 10k. I really do hope so. I'm gonna try with like really consistent content as well. See if that helps, you know, feed the algorithm and things like that. Yeah, I'm really excited for all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Hey, listen, do you see McLaren 22 engine, car engine firing up? Yes, we watched it on stream a little bit earlier, so if you want to head back about half hour or so, if you scroll, you'll be able to see the little mini screen, and you can see when we were looking at it. It's nothing too groundbreaking, but yeah, you know, we had a look at it. It's a matter of time when you won't be able to read all the comments. Yeah, I'll savor these days. Hey, listen, I've literally... Oh no, you repeated it. I was going to say, I'd literally just read that. But yeah, that's my goal for this year. And what I really want to get to 5k before the season starts. And I think we should easily do that in pre-season. I really don't know how many people I'm expecting to watch the pre-season coverage. I mentioned it on Twitter under a couple of comments, and like loads of people liked it. So I assume there's a wide audience for it, just because it's not being broadcast on TV, so... I thought it's the least I can do, because if I like didn't have a YouTube channel and I was just like a fan wanting to watch it, it's something that I would want to be out there and like an option to watch. Don't forget us when you don't read our comments. No, I'll write you all down. I think the preseason shakedown or whatever they want to call it, will get you a good ways 10k because no one has anything. Yeah, I just want to hit 5k on that one, honestly, and anything above that is just a bonus. I really don't know what to expect from all this channel. Like, I just want to make enough money on the side to pay off like bits of rent that student loan doesn't cover for next year, and like that's as far, and maybe like fund a new car. That's how all this goes. Basically, stay alive, have food, car. High hopes. What we got? Button 2022. Yeah, Button Champion 2022. All behind that. Absolutely. Oh my god. Right, hang on. Can we get a really high following so I can interview Jensen Button? That genuinely, that would be the peak of my life. If okay, that's it. I've got some I've got something to aspire to. We need enough subs so I can interview Jensen Button. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I don't think it'd be a great interview because I'll just be sitting there going, Jensen. Yeah. You can tell we haven't done these streams for a while. But I don't know what do you guys think of all of this? Like, do you like the graphics, the intro? No, I'm gonna play out with the intro because I appreciate some people would have missed that at the start, and I love the intro. Do I have a mullet? I do not have a mullet, unfortunately. I should get like a proper mullet though. That'd be quite cool. It would not be cool. We're not doing that. I think posting the last half-hour summary you'll do after will do good as well, because if no one has anything, a good half-hour summary will do well. Yeah. Just a suggestion from my previous Discord experiences, you should get a group of regular people on Discord and make them like a distinct role below mods, or as mods up to you when your channel grows. Yeah, that's a good idea actually as well. Add some more like layers going on it. But we have a pretty good mod team at the moment. Actually, brilliant mod team. They've done a great job building the server and keeping it all going. And so far we haven't had any issues or anything along the lines. So there's a bit much going on. There is a lot going on the screen, but that's why I've tried to keep it quite as static as possible. Yeah. Discord would be good. Yeah, we do have the Discord open, so you can actually join the Discord. It's a link in the description. We do actually have that. So yeah, if that's something that interests you, we do have we do actually have the Discord going. So I'll actually go check the Discord. That's all going well. But yeah, I think that about rounds us off for tonight. Unless anyone has anything else they want to say. Oh, that's a good idea. I'll get the bot to do the Discord stuff. Is that like Moonbot or something? I might look into setting that up. So yeah, I might have a look at that. Who's your favourite driver? It's a question for all of you guys. So for me, Lando Norris. And if he wins a race, I will not shut up. But apart from that, completely unbiased. But yeah, go on, guys. Who else is your favourite driver out of anyone on the grid? I love the music. That's a good vibe. I've got to say, I got some guys on Fiverr to do it, and I really am happy with it. And yeah, it's really cool, along with the intro as well. Favourite driver, Danny Rick. He could be in for a good season. Maybe. Well, I've been on professional streams and stuff, so I can give you some ideas if you need. Oh yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. It's really useful. And yeah, absolutely. George, Lewis, Perez. Oh, I hope Perez has a good year because I do like Checo. It's Kimi, of course. But yeah, I think that about rounds us up for tonight. I'll be back next week. We'll be talking about obviously whatever news is new coming up to it. And yeah, we'll also be really close to the first cars being launched. So do you guys think I should move the 9th of February stream to the 10th when the Aston Martin car launches? I'll quickly go back here. Yeah, do you reckon I should? Yeah. I think we should move the 10th of February to the 11th. The 9th of February stream to the 10th so that we can watch that. I think that's a good idea. TM at Marduk. Oh wait, Lewis. Mazpin is he always creates some action. Most of the people watching is from UK, right? I don't know. Yeah, you should move it. Gives the stream more relevant. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a good idea. I'll definitely do that. Okay, well, in the meantime, if you want to chat more, my DMs are open on @RaceBeacon or on Discord, something along those lines you can go for. But yeah, I think for the most part, that about does us tonight. We've covered... Oh, USA. There we go. Actually, yeah, I love doing this. Where are people watching from? I love doing this. Before we round off, I really want to... So we've got New Zealand, we've got USA, we've got Dubai. Moving to 10 is good, I think. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. I'll move then. Yeah, so then we have a car to talk about. So I'll do live coverage of the Aston Martin launch if it's early in the day. And then we could do the midweek stream where we actually like discuss the car and all the news a little bit more. US, India. You know what we said about the UK? There's not many actual UK people, is there? Netherlands. But yeah, I think that's all good. So I think that about does, doesn't it? Lincolnshire, UK. No, I'm in Herts, UK. So right, brilliant. Yeah, I think that does us tonight, doesn't it? People from the US, make sure to watch the ads like 5 times long. JK. No, I've made sure not to insert any ads during the stream as well because you know there's. I just want to chat with you guys for a bit. Really, that's the whole point of the stream. So, yeah, I think we're about good. I hope everyone has a brilliant week. We'll see you back next week where we'll be covering all of the latest news in Formula One next week on the midweek show. And good night.